Oh, we're live! Hey Glass Gang, thanks for tuning in. The stream starts soon. Hey Glass Gang, thanks for tuning in. I'm having some trouble signing in on Xbox, but I'll get this worked out in a moment. What'll most likely end up happening is the chat will disconnect for a few seconds, but it should reconnect. It's a problem that I have on Xbox now and then. So yeah, my bad, gang. We should be reconnected here. I should have done this ahead of time, but I honestly forgot that this happens on Xbox sometimes. I'm just gonna go make sure that audio is off. Okay, perfect. Perfecto! Let's get into game pronto to catch a good old Fasnacht. How's everyone doing tonight? Have you guys been getting lucky on Xbox? Getting those glowy masks? Not an alien ROV Chaos have you guys been getting? I know you guys play on Xbox. Did you get the new glowy? What's taking so long? I think it's me. I think I'm the problem. I think I've been playing other games that load in a lot faster. Alright, sweet. We're in game and it's time to play Fasnacht. I'm on my Xbox character. Oh, long time no see. This is my elder character. Let's see her level. She's at 2,136 levels deep, running the gap, plaz. My favorite weapon of all time. This weapon actually changed my life. Yeah, for real. It put my channel on the map. Because when I started my channel, some of you watching right now already have heard me yap about this over and over again every time I bring up the GAPPLAS. But basically for the longest time, when I first started my channel, I was only uploading GAPPLAS build guides. I only cared about the GAPPLAS. And I would always see comments of people asking me to please do build guides on other weapons. And I was just like, nah, I'm good. I love the GAPPLAS. I was catering to the GAPPLAS crowd. It was like a delicacy, you know? People knew where to get it. People who wanted the GAPPLAS content, they were like, psst, Miss Glass, she has all the builds you need to see. Maybe I need to do that again. Maybe I need to go hyper-focused on a singular weapon again. It was honestly a lot of fun. We set up all kinds of different builds for it. Right now I'm running an unyielding build. So I'm bloodied. And with members on the team, it sits at 600 max AP. Without food buffs, without agility buffs. So we can still bring that up higher. Which is pretty cool. That's what I love about unyielding builds. The max AP is just so easy. Gonna be a lot of potential builds to make when the new unique weapons go live. I agree, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I can't wait to dive into it again. I had fun on PTS testing some of them. Some of them have basically really not changed much. Like the Shattered Grounds, for example, its effect, the unique effect is it adds bleed damage. Which was already something it did. But a lot of them did change. And the cool thing is we can now change the legendaries on them. So that's the biggest thing. Like you couldn't change the legendaries on the Shattered Grounds before. But now you can. So that is really cool. For people that want to run a 4-star unique legendary handmade. I think that's about the only one. Personally, I'm going to gravitate towards the Anchorage Ace. It surprised me the most in my testing. It's so good at staying infinite VATS with a low max AP build. It was really good. It really impressed me. It's an infinite VATS machine. Plus, it can take advantage of stealth perks with its integrated silencer. So, really cool, really neat. I'll finally be able to equip it as a 4-star. I'm currently using it on PC, but it's a 3-star. It's got a dodgy roll on it, but I still like it. I still like it. I mainly like the look of the gun. But no, it's gonna be a lot of fun being able to switch things up and kind of figure out what the new meta is, if the meta even really changes. I feel like it's gonna change up the meta for a lot of people. You know, people can have their own metas. Meta is an acronym that stands for most effective tactics available, and honestly that varies depending from person to person. You know, what they have access to is going to determine what the most effective tactic available is to them. So it'll be interesting to see what the community comes up with as far as builds with these uniques. I have a few ideas in mind. You'll have to check out the channel when that happens. But I'm really enjoying the Anchorage Ace on PTS. It's really nice to get the extra stealth bonus out of it, to squeeze out more damage from it. You can run Mr. Sandman with it because it's silenced now. It's so neat. Only one glowing all Fasnacht. I think I got 2 dropped so far the entire event. I got the glowing bone mask on PC to drop, and then I got the glowy Minotaur. Got the glowy Minotaur. Oh, hang on a sec. Did I loot the body? What do we get? A Fasnacht pig mask? Oh, it's so rough. She is back! I am! I'm back and ready to attack! On Xbox tonight. If you want to join, smash that like button. Add me from my gamer tag in the description. Hoping to try a few sneak melee weapons if they fixed stealth on thorn armor, like in PTS. That should be fun. Oh, we have an infestation! I might as well activate my camp here to teleport into it. Oh god, I'm bloodied though. Please don't give me a Savage Assaultron again. Literally like all day earlier when I was streaming on PlayStation, it was just Savage Assaultron that just kept spawning. We kept getting them back to back. We got 2 or 3 total, I can't remember. But that was rough. Oh, it's over there. What the heck? Resilient Communist Commissioner. Okay. Alright, well at least he's not savage. Oh, it's Gadplaz versus Gadplaz, I see. Cool, cool, cool. Doing really decent damage. Ah! And they say you can't do them bloodied. Sorry, gang, I had to open a window. Alright. I guess we'll go around and see if I have any wanted posters. If not, we could probably do a raid. I like doing raids on Xbox since it doesn't crash every 4 minutes. Nothing new. Learned nothing new from scrapping all that. That's fantastic. How's my ship doing? Oh no! We've been robbed! All my Fasnacht masks are gone. Why though? What? Oh, okay, they're all in the stash. Apparently they're on display somewhere else. That's interesting. Usually they're here. Do. Looks like I have a spare robot mask, so I'll be giving that out in my Discord. Alright, looking good. I do want to wear this other one though. I like the glowing buffoon. I like this one. And I guess we'll put the sun mask back on display. There we go. There we go. This is my ship, gang! We'll get a 40 max AP bonus here. When you left, there was another infestation and it was another Savage Assaultron. Are you kidding me? Oh my god, PlayStation has it so rough. I have some wanted posters to use. Raid or bounties. We can do bounties first. It is a chill stream, so raids aren't exactly super chill. I have about 7 of the Brat Boy. But to get the red hot, is like a losing game. I feel you on that one. Some people have been getting really lucky with it, while others are just not getting the drops at all. So that's unfortunate. I built this camp a long time ago for Halloween, and it's easily one of my favorite camps of all time. It's a pirate ship. It's my fishing ship! It's a bit overkill for fishing, but yeah, I literally was fishing here. at one point. Alright, what else do we have up here? We can do a perception bonus from the Stargazer's telescope. We'll do intelligence bonus from the book thingy. And I think I also have the well-tuned buff here. Are you accepting any friend requests today, Glass? I am, yeah. Just add me from my gamer tag. I left it in the description, so you can add me. And join if you want. I have 5 hot dogs, but no hot diggity dog. It'll happen. It'll happen. Ukulele buff. Then I'm out of here. Smash like, gang, hit subscribe if you're new, and turn on bell notifications. I live stream and upload weekly Fallout 76 content. My pirate ship, Chris, is actually built in the water. There is water right up to the foundations. And if you go under, you can see it's like in the water. But like it's fully submerged. There's water all the way around the hull. Except for this part, just because I had no choice. But you can barely see this. It looks like driftwood, really. Just making, you know, the foundations the way they are. I had no choice for this end of it. Because it comes to a point, if you can tell. And you can't really do that with the foundations typically. Without merging. So, I had no choice. But you don't even notice that. You don't even see that when you're just looking at the ship. You're just checking it out. It's not something that really stands out. Plus, when it rains, it actually fills up with water down here. When it rains, there's water, and you see the raindrops and the water come in, and it covers the floor, which is pretty neat. I should have... The whole reason I came here, actually, was for this. There's cooked soft shell meat. Sweet. And I'll go get my AP buffs at Nuka World. And we have a bounty. Sorry if you guys heard me crack my knuckles. This GLASSGANG build is so much fun, and it's a bit of an old one on the channel, so it can be hard to find in the video list, but it's still relevant and it still works exactly the same. What the heck is going on with all the white smoke? I think we're near a camp. I think that was a camp thingy. The mortar or whatever it's called from the camps. What Pip-Boy is that? I have the Nuka-Cola Pip-Boy. But if you didn't know, you don't have to look at your Pip-Boy like this on this tiny screen. If you just press the little button on your controller, if you look at the bottom of the screen, you see view. Whatever that button is for you, whether on PC or Xbox. Right now I'm on Xbox, so it's the little like double square icon. I don't know what the heck to call it. Select button. And it's going to be something different on keyboard, but if you look at the bottom of the screen, you have LB for move camp, then you have the view button. That changes the view to this, which is a lot better in my opinion, because you can still reload your weapons and look in your Pip-Boy. And like spam toxic goo or something, or if you're a coffee spammer, you can spam coffee while reloading to prime yourself up for the fight. So that's pretty cool. If you didn't know, now you know. I got 20 posters stored away. GG. Oh, they totally messed up my rads. Gotta fix my rads now. $745 max AP should be good enough now for this GLASSGANG build. But I have to fix my weight. I clearly have way too much stuff on my character. And what I'll do, I usually link the build I'm using in the description, but I forgot to do that. My bad, gang. I'll link it in the chat. And this is actually a high health version of the build, so it's not bloodied. But if you run bloodied, the only difference is you have higher XP and higher max AP. So, and this version is just tankier. This high health version that I'm linking in the chat. Yeah, I need to go through all that stuff. I need to take care of the weight on this character at some point. But she has pretty high carry weight, being that she's unyielding. So it's really not a big issue. Tons of people at Moonshine Jamboree tonight. Might as well go check it out. We can get some poached angler for max AP, since I'm carnivore on this character. GG cat god. How many bounties do you want to do? As many as you want to do, Primed Reaper. You don't have to spam them all here. Just whatever you want to feel like doing. It's a chill stream tonight. What's the fastest way to rank up the scoreboard? You wait for a double XP weekend and you do the raids over and over. That is absolutely the fastest way to fly through it. And there is a double XP weekend coming up soon. Let me just double check here. Or you run the snake back to back if you know how to do that. Just snake farming. You can actually set up your build to reach the 300k max XP ceiling, which is the most that you can get for XP at the snake is 300,000. And the next one is starting Thursday, August 20th until August 24th. So 4 days. 4 days of double XP, and you can get 300,000 XP a minute at the snake boss, because we have builds on the channel that can kill the snake in under a minute, in like 40 seconds, and then you can just get yourself back down there and run it again over and over and over. That's what you want to do. But yeah, it's the last month here. We're getting a new update in September. So if you're just starting the scoreboard, it's pretty late, my guy. You're gonna have to really sit there and grind the snakes back to back. So do the snake skip or the whole raid. If you're just wanting the most amount of XP for your time, just do the snake. It's 300,000 XP. Not every stage has the same XP ceiling, and some of them are nowhere near that. So so the best one to do is the snake over and over. Gang, I'm gonna have to be right back. I'm not feeling 100%. I need to go. I need to run on over to the litter box. So I'll be back, gang. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back after my short little break. And we're gonna keep doing the things I need doing. Alright, gang, I'm back. And we're back from our break and ready to attack. Let's do it, gang. Let's do it. What do we got going on? Not too much, eh? I guess I should activate my Fasnacht home. I haven't gotten to use it at all this Fasnacht. I like this camp. I could probably also nuke too. That's a good idea. We could nuke. That would be fun actually. I haven't nuked in a while. I got a ton of nuke cards on this character. At least last time I checked I did. Who knows? Let's see. Okay, well, 11 isn't bad. We got 11 of them. This is my little Fasnacht home. I call it my Florida home. I've had it for a really long time. I made a video on how to make it, like, when I started my channel. It's actually a lot easier to make now. Before, you had to use a special trick to merge a prefab like this into foundations, but now you can just do it. You can just free place it inside of foundations, which is pretty cool. My Fasnacht masks! They're all gone! We've been robbed! Alright, cool. Glowing buffoon. Is it actually called that? No, I renamed it that because it should be called the glowing buffoon. But it's actually called the glowing... Oh wait, it is the buffoon mask. Okay, but when this came out, it was called the glowing jester for whatever reason. And I'm guessing they must have switched it because obviously, as you guys saw, before I cleared the name, I had changed it to glowing buffoon. And that was, you know, I typically don't name my Fasnacht masks. That was only because it's not a jester. It's not a jester mask, so. But this is my home, my humble home. I got a sweet deal at Best Buy on these JBL speakers. They hooked me up with a combo deal with the flat screen. I'm really hooked up. I'm really hooked up here on Xbox. I'm living large. Very fancy. My PC character lives in a freaking cave under a road in the dirt. Meanwhile, I have a sanitized living quarters like you wouldn't believe. And this is my room. The neat thing about it is I'm actually within range of the event, which is cool. So if I'm here just chilling at the base, like it'll tell me that I joined the Fasnacht event. So I'm like, oh, it's time, it's time. It's pretty neat. I miss this camp. Never on Xbox enough anymore. But yeah, this is my Florida home. I've never been to Florida. But I feel a bit closer to it when I'm here. What is this thingy? Furious. Bullets explode. Less VATS cost pepper shaker. Oh, this is a god roll. This dropped like this. It has a cap value. Sweet. That's a keeper. Gotta make sure I don't scrap that. Bounty headhunt time. Thank you so much, Queen's Den. Thank you, Roadkiller. I appreciate it. I love this camp. One of my favorites. I have a lot of camps on this character, actually. This is the build. This is my oldest character. I have like 12,000 hours on this character. I wish I was lying. I have one, my glass mansion. That's like my oldest camp. It actually is my oldest camp. Silo Beta, which is in Skyline Valley. I made it to look sort of like the Silo Charlie or Silo Alpha. When you go to them, they're just like a little shed with a door and an elevator. And I made it look like that because they never gave us a nuke silo in Skyline Valley. So I made a camp this again. What is going on? Whose camp is nearby enough to do that? Someone must have a camp like right here, because it doesn't shoot that close. Okay, I kind of feel like just going to a new world. Hey. Yeah, I'm gonna go to a new world and I'm gonna launch nukes. I'm just not enjoying the camp mortars. It's not chill. It's blinding me. It's blinding the audience. It's unnecessary. It does literally no damage. Isn't there a way to turn off explosive effects? What? Oh, we don't have that yet in game? Oh, that's a bummer. I thought for sure that was already in game. Oh well. The fact that you have double my total hours played across 2 platforms on a single character blows my mind. Hey man, what can I tell you? COVID hit, I lost my job, this cat went on unemployment. You know what I'm talking about? I was living that Fallout life like it was my job, dude. I was also just camp building a lot. You know, before I got into bossing, I thoroughly exhausted camp building. Like, if I showed you guys all these camps I have, you would see it immediately. But I also have multiple characters on each platform. I mean, I'm somewhere close to 13,000 hours on this character. And then I'm at 1,000 hours on PC and almost another 1,000 hours on PlayStation. So it's crazy. It adds up quick, honestly. But I spent so many hours just tinkering with camps, it's unreal. And then when I got bored of that, I started farming Earl and uploading it to YouTube, and the rest is history. And actually, that started from people like telling me that I was trading, back then I was trading for, I joined the trade groups to trade for gap plats that had VATS rolls, because back then you couldn't get the gap plats, you couldn't get like legendary mods, you couldn't just like throw random legendary mods you wanted on a weapon is what I'm saying. You had to like get a god roll drop. So if you wanted a specific VATS rolled Gatplaz, you had to like try and get the drop or trade for it. And pretty much everyone was scripting them at the time because they had a AP cost of like plus 33 AP cost. So they were impossible to use in VATS pretty much. And everyone was saying it was impossible to use them in VATS. But I was like, nah, I'm gonna do it. I had a thought. I was like, what if I just throw all of the max AP I can at this thing and let it eat, you know? And we didn't have conductors back then, and that's what I did, and it worked. And this way I was able to, I still had to use coffee because obviously we didn't have conductors at the time, so I would run out of AP completely, but my build had around 1,000 max AP at the time, so I was able to stay in it for a very long time, and it basically made me get away with only using like 3 canned coffee per Earl fight. 3 to 5. It was like under 10, I remember. It was in the single digits. Whereas back then, most people who were farming Earl with a you know, heavy gunner build had to sit there and spam like 25 coffees, which I did have to do too with some builds. You know, it's not every build that I had that had 1,000 max AP, but did it get nerfed? The Gatplaz sure did, yeah. Because at one point, the Gatplaz, when it hit peak, was like not long after my channel started getting noticed. And I only had Gatplaz content. And they had just updated the game so where the Gatplaz had a low AP cost of only 6 AP. And they gave it new mods, like new receiver mods, new stuff like that. And it was doing serious damage with my build. And I really credit the Gatplaz for my channel getting noticed. It is a staple here at my channel, this gun, for that reason. And it was the best thing since sliced bread, you know. There was nothing that could top it. It was really on top of it all. And when they finally brought out the raids, conductors didn't actually work, even though we had conductors in game. It only returned HP on crit. It didn't return AP for whatever reason. For like 4 months it was broken. And then they finally decided to fix it, and we only had it returning max AP on crit, 5% of your max AP on crit for like 3 months, and then they nerfed it. But for those 3 months, my 1000 max AP build was returning 50 max AP on crit. It was insane. It made anything infinite VATS. I didn't need to use any coffee. It's crazy. I couldn't be stopped. But yeah, back then pretty much everyone was scrapping their drops that were heavy guns with VATS rolls because, you know, that high AP cost just meant most builds couldn't sustain it in VATS. And I was joining trading groups looking specifically for specific bloodied 50 crit 25 Gadplas, and I was getting laughed at a lot. People weren't like taking my trade posts seriously. And they're like, what are you gonna do with that garbage? Like, it's script. And they were like just like laugh reacting the posts and stuff like that. Facebook is just so toxic. So I ended up getting my trades anyway and making content on it, and well, look where I'm at. So they can laugh all they want. It's part of character development. Sometimes you just have to believe in yourself. Facts. But yeah, they did nerf the Gadplas eventually. It's still really good, but it's just nowhere near the DPS that the Pepper Shaker can output. So, and the efficiency that the Pepper Shaker has with ammo, and the efficiency it has in VATS. It's still really good though if you're gonna daily drive it and you want to use it. The only thing is it demands a high max AP build. You absolutely have to have a high max AP build like this, like what I'm running. Look at my AP. It looks so nice, right? It's just, it loves this. That's because of a few things. I have conductors on the build, sure, but I also have Grim Reaper's Sprint. This helps a lot with the Gadplas. Any kill in VATS restores action points based on luck. So if there's more enemies to kill, the easier it is to stay in VATS. And you want to pair that card, Grim Reaper's Sprint, with Gunfu, because you want to swap targets on kill. It saves time. You don't have to reinitiate VATS. If you didn't know, each time you like click on an enemy to initiate VATS, it actually costs you some AP. So this just avoids that. Swaps targets on kill. You just need 1 rank. Of course, if you have if you have it on rank 3, it's 90% more damage. But since I'm mostly bossing, like most of the time when I'm solo farming, this really doesn't do much for me at the boss fights because I'm not swapping targets. But if you're going to use this as a daily driver and like an event farm weapon, yeah, you would definitely want to throw this into a 3 rank card and throw this on the build. But again, I'm bloodied, so I really have to squeeze in Evasive and Born Survivor for all the survivability I can get. Thank you so much, KingShots89, for the 5 gifted memberships. That's so cool of you. Everyone who received a membership, you now have access to GLASSGANG only content for the next 30 days. Well, it's just because at the time, just a guy on the internet, it's not that they didn't play Fallout 76. It was a different atmosphere. Back then, no one was using heavy guns in VATS. It wasn't a thing. It really was something that this channel pushed really hard into the mainstream. And I will fully take credit for that, because if you look back far enough, you'll 100% see on the timeline that I was pushing this content as my mainstream content, as my only content on the channel, when no one else was. Like, we're talking like 2 years ago. And back then, people were only posting about the quad railway or the quad fixer, and yeah, running heavy guns in VATS was like sacrilege. It just wasn't something that people saw as, you know, doable, because heavy guns back then had such a high cost to your AP to use in VATS. But times have changed, and this channel played a key role in that. Something I'm proud of. Ghoul PA. Okay, I'm definitely not a ghoul, but I probably just forgot to update the name on this. Yeah, this is not a ghoul build. I just forgot to update the name on this build. Would Grim Reaper Sprint work with the Tesla rifle? Yeah, it absolutely would. The Tesla rifle still has a pretty high AP cost. It's not the best weapon to use for VATS, unfortunately, because of that. But it can work. You can get it to work. Anything can work in VATS. You just have to work your build around two things. Max AP, luck to crit ratio, and conductors. That's it. Almost time. Oh, you're right. It's Fasnacht Day. Look at that. Thanks for letting me know, Queen's Den. But yeah, back then, everyone was testing their builds against Earl. He was the biggest, tankiest, and only boss we had. And everyone was running up on Earl with the railway, and they were doing that. It was fine, you know, but it's all you heard was choo-choo, choo-choo, choo-choo all the time. And I started posting my videos of me getting faster times with my Gatplas and VATS using my high max AP build. I was around 800 or 900 max AP. I wasn't quite there yet at my 1000 build. And so I still had to use some coffee, but I was only using like 10 coffee with the build. And I remember people were getting so antsy about it. They were basically saying I was glitching or cheating or using hacks or something because like heavy guns can't stay in VATS that long. They were just skipping the part where I talked about how my build had 900 max AP. And I was like, dude, like it's literally a numbers game. Ticket to Revenge Railway should be very good and fun next season. Yeah, it absolutely will be. It's lots of fun. Has 3% armor pen per onslaught stack. And that's gonna be really, really good. I don't think it'll pull me off of heavy guns though. I don't think so. I hate the choo-choo sound. Plus, even with quad, I find it just doesn't have enough ammo in the magazine for bossing for me. It will be plenty for most people though. It absolutely will be a great choice. I'm not hating on it. Oh no, I think we crashed. Oh no, we didn't crash. That's been happening a lot on Xbox lately. Who else is that happening to? Is that happening to more people than just me? Where you're running around on Xbox and then all of a sudden the game freezes completely for like 5 seconds and then unfreezes? That's been happening a lot to me. I have 430 AP with my bow build. LOL, wish that was the amount for heavy weapons build. Well, you absolutely can. I'm at 700 max AP on this build. And this is a heavy weapons build. And this isn't anything for this build. This is unbuffed at 700. This build can reach 1000. I've shown this on a members only live stream. Because honestly, I just don't want the build copied by everyone. Because they do that! And I don't want it getting nerfed. I like my build. It originated from here. There was no one else with 1000 AP build on YouTube at the time when I first posted it. So I'm kind of gatekeeping it. I'm sorry, gang. I will eventually bring it back out. It's not that OP anymore. I just don't find it that useful. Mainly because when you start getting into the 1000 AP range, okay, what ends up happening is you are forced to use specific drugs, consumables. Like you can't use overdrive, unfortunately, because you have to use chems that also increase that max AP. There's a nice balance though around 900, where 900 you still don't have to force yourself into chems that increase max AP, and you can have really good max AP density at 900 with just food buffs as a carnivore, and you still do really solid damage as a carnivore, as I've shown with my 39-second pepper shaker build. That one's carnivore, doesn't use blight soup, doesn't use well, it's not herbivore, still does the same damage as my herbivore build. Give me the build. It's on the channel, my guy. I've had it freeze when using shortcut wheel on PC. Really? It seems to be just... It seems to be just like really bad when Fasnacht's active, really. It's very crashy. But yeah, I honestly don't mind showing you guys on stream here in a moment. I'll start, like, after this we'll go over some things here for building max AP. We'll start with the basics, because there's so many people that come to me and they have problems running their weapons in AP, and it really isn't a problem. It's just a numbers game. You just have to figure out at which point does it become useful for the weapon. So like the Gatplaz, for example, it feels a lot more comfortable around 800 max AP. That's where it becomes comfortable. So this build right now sits at 760 max AP, so we're right about there. And what that means is I can typically get through most of the magazine, because it has a very high magazine count. You know, it has 500 rounds in the magazine, and if we look at the weapon, it has an AP cost of 9, which seems low, but it has a high fire rate of 114, so it's gonna just run through AP. That's why we need all that AP density we can get. Because the goal with weapons that are AP negative is to throw so much max AP at it that it can stay in VATS for the majority of the magazine. That's the goal. Because you can always have really good AP refresh too, and just, you know, reload and regain all your AP and then start dumping rounds again. You don't need the active mod, Darren Marquez. When I first did my first 1000 max AP build, we didn't have 4-star gear and we didn't have the active mod back then, so it's still possible. You don't need active to hit these high AP numbers. It's only 20 max AP per piece. It helps make it easier to hit, for sure. Like, if you're not going to use it, if you're not going to use active, you're basically forced into those chems I mentioned earlier that increase max AP. Which aren't fun to do because they don't last long, and it blocks you from using overdrive. But you can still get a comfortable 700 to 800 max AP without needing those buffs. But yeah, back then I had a little unyielding marine armor build, 3-star, using through hikers. Love through hikers too, so I'm with you on that one. It's really good. Through hikers is good for a couple of reasons. It's a quality of life perk for one. But two, and the most important reason, is it actually opens up points under strength and endurance on the build for better perk cards that further optimize your build. And I think opening up points on your build, it means a lot more, because obviously you can optimize a lot better. Where did it die? I didn't even see this one die. He got a fiend mask. It's so rough. Imagine if Jet came into Fallout 76. That'd be so cool. Hi, Yukis Multimedia. GG. Thank you for being here. It is a temporary boost. You're right about that, just a guy on the internet. But when it only takes you 40 seconds to kill the snake and that temporary boost lasts 3 minutes, it becomes worth it, right? Just for that moment. That's why you want to hang on to those chems. For when you're bossing and your end game and you're wanting to get the job done as fast as possible. Really about the only time they come in handy. But yeah, let's check it out. Let's go break it down a little bit. First things first, I'm gonna go get some food buffs here. I'm a carnivore on this build. It's important to be carnivore if you're gonna do a max AP build, because carnivores have access to food buffs that increase your max AP dramatically. So if we go here and we look at fried rad roach on a stick, that's giving us 8 agility. You can buy this already cooked. You don't even have to cook this. This isn't high maintenance at all. It's very low maintenance. It's 28 caps. If you can't afford this, my guy, go do a grunt hunt or something. But fried rad roach on a stick is 28 caps, so you can buy this. You can also buy fried scorpion on a stick, which is 47 caps, and it's the same buff. They don't stack, but each of them last 1 hour. So it's not like a little 3-minute buff here. This lasts 1 hour and it gives you plus 8 agility. What does that mean? It means it gives you plus 80 to your max AP. Now, as far as I know, I already have it active. I do. And it's active for 20 minutes right now. So I can refresh this. We'll refresh it with fried rad roach. So now it's going to be active for 59 minutes. And you can combine this food buff with another food buff. That is super easy to get. Where is it? Did it already expire? Can't be. It already expired. It already spoiled. I guess it's been longer than I thought since but anyways, I might as well show you how to get it if you don't have the collector, because I have a meat collector that already cooks it. It's a max AP build, or a max AP buff that stacks with rad roach on a stick. Yeah, herbivores just can't reach the high max AP that carnivores can. Whenever I attempted the herbivore version of my build that can reach 1,000 max AP as a carnivore, I could only get it to 700. Still really good, okay? Still really good. But still much higher. Still 300 more max AP as a carnivore. Which just means it's easier to achieve even at lower max AP densities. But yeah, you can totally do a high max AP build as a herbivore. But the nice thing that I have found with being a carnivore is it's just way easier to maintain. The food buffs last so long. Plus you have access to carry weight food buffs. So many different carry weight and strength food buffs that also increase your carry weight. Which is just nice for daily driving. So the reason I came here and killed those anglers, there's typically 3 of them here, but it looks like we only had 2 that spawned. There's usually another one here. And what that does is it gives me another 40 to my max AP. Poached angler. This is what we want to cook. Now, if you don't want to cook anything and you have the Mylark steamer, then instead of cooking anything, you can just grab cooked softshell meat from your Mylark steamer. It's the same buff as poached angler, and it stacks with the buff that I mentioned earlier. Poached angler. This gives me plus 50 to max AP when you're on a team. I said plus 40 earlier because it's 40 if you're not on a team. But let's consume this. And now we're at 810 max AP. Now this is just 2 food buffs here. So how can that be? How am I getting to 800 max AP with just 2 food buffs? Well, it's because of my armor. If we look at my armor, I'm using unyielding with plus 2 agility and active on this build. Now this build can reach, this armor set can reach 1000 AP easily. Like I mentioned earlier, I was hitting 1000 AP on a 3-star build that only had, actually back then we didn't even have 2-star agility. Our 2-star agility mods were 1-star. They were still the 2-star slot, but it was just plus 1 agility. It wasn't plus 2 agility. So, and we didn't have active back then. But unyielding agility is what you want. Let's now at this point there's other buffs that I need to do in order to reach that 1000 AP, but I'll save that for a video. You're gonna see it at some point on the channel. But that's how we can easily maintain 800 AP, and it feels really good with the Gap Plaza with just 2 food buffs. And let's look at my armor sets here, because I have another armor set that doesn't have active. That is unyielding. So let's compare it. Hopefully I still have it. I don't think I got rid of it. Oh no! Oh shoot, I might have actually got rid of it. Oh well, I guess we'll use this other unyielding armor set here. We'll see what this one sits at for max AP. Now we don't even have agility on here, we just have endurance, but we still get some agility from endurance with Thirst Quencher being on the build. Let's see what we're at. We're at 600. That's still really good. That's still really good. With just these 2 food buffs. Fried Radroach on a stick and Poached Angler. And being in unyielding armor. We don't even have agility mods. Patient 0, look. You don't have to worry about that. The build technically already is on the channel. It is, if you type in 1000 max AP, it will show up on my channel. And back then I used a 3-star armor set to do it. But yeah, you don't need agility, you don't need active. This has just unyielding. That's literally all we got going on. At this point, if I want more agility, I gotta do stuff like camp buffs. I gotta do bobblehead agility. I gotta do... there's a magazine I just can't remember off the top of my head right now that gives me, I think, plus 20 to max AP. And yeah, you just stack everything that gives you max AP. But 600 is plenty. Here, I'm just gonna run around with this armor set. This was my first unyielding armor set that I did with Civil Engineer, so this is a really old armor set, and then I just slapped on Rangers for some reason at some point instead of limit breaking. So I guess we won't be critting every other shot, but we'll be getting a little bit extra damage, but it would just be better with limit breaking. Let's see if we can put limit breaking on it. I will be updating the build though. I have promised it to the gang, and I would just hate for them to freaking nerf it. What build are you using right now? Right, meow. I'm using this build. Linked in the chat. It's actually already on the channel. I have updated it recently, but it's a high health version of the build. I'm currently using the low health version of the build. I guess I'm just kind of worried about it getting nerfed, and it's not even that OP. It's strictly for use with weapons that are hard to use in VATS, that don't stay like in VATS very long because they have a high AP cost. Am I missing a piece of armor? 1, 2, 3, 4. I am! Oh no, I'm missing the chest! Oh my god, that is hilarious. So I'm at 600 max AP and I'm missing a whole piece of armor. That's crazy. What happened to my chest? It's just gone, apparently. Huh. That is really weird. Rip, I have no more limit breaking. Alright, well that's fine. I just wanted to show that you don't need active to still gain a max AP density, because anytime I show like around 600, 700 max AP, people are always complaining that I'm using active and that it's inaccessible. I get that it's hard to get the drop on active, but it absolutely does happen. I learned it randomly one day on PC, just scrapping from doing grunt hunts, and it wasn't from, because sometimes viewers will come and drop me a bundle of legendary mods to help me learn them, and I'll do that on stream. I'll do like a dedicated stream saying like, how long does it take to learn limit breaking, and I'll sit there and scrap like 150 box mods of limit breaking to learn limit breaking. But when I learned active on my PC character, it happened naturally from just scrapping armor pieces that I was getting from farming grunts. And as you can see, I'm missing an entire chest piece here, so I'm missing the +3 agility from the extra unyielding I would have. And I don't even have the +2 agility mods, I just have +2 endurance mods on here. And we're at 600 max AP. So it all depends on two things. It depends on having Thirst Quencher on the build. As you can see, Thirst Quencher is giving me 87 to max AP. It depends on whether or not you have high density in your endurance. You have a lot of points in endurance for Thirst Quencher to scale off of, because the more points you have in endurance, the higher your max AP. So with this card, if I eat a food like anything that gives you endurance, like pemmican, we're at what, 622? We take pemmican, we're up to 645. Anything that increases endurance increases max AP with this perk card. Plus, if you have, you know, fleshed out agility, 15 points in agility, that increases your max AP as well. And I believe with my 1000 AP build back then, when I didn't have 4 stars and I didn't have active mods, how I was reaching it was I was dumping extra points into agility. I would take points out of charisma and dump them into agility. You can still have 15 points in agility and still add more to that. You can still go higher than that. It doesn't let you apply more perk cards to it, but you can still dump more points into it, and it still gives you the base benefit of more max AP. So I'll show you what I mean by that. What are we at here? We're at 645 max AP. So let's take points out of charisma and let's just dump it into agility. We're at 15 points already in the deck. We were before we moved the points. Somehow I went down? What? What happened there? That doesn't make any sense. We have more points in our agility now. Something must have happened. Either a buff fell off or... -1 agility overdrive addiction. It can't be that. Okay, that's just weird. Did I have a card that was helping with my max AP? Oh wait, I know what happened. I lost strange in numbers. That's what happened. Okay, let's put that back on because it automatically took off some cards here. And let's move those points back into agility. But let's make sure I still have strange in numbers. Yep, okay. So now we're at 685. That's exactly what happened. Yep, you're right. Yep, that's what happened. So see how I was already at 15? I was already before I moved those points at 15. It means that I don't get to add more cards to that stack. But those extra points being dumped into agility is increasing the effect of that stat. We went from 645 to 685. You can do that with anything. With any stat. You can do that with luck if you need more luck for your luck to crit ratio. You can do that with endurance. You can do that with strength if you need more carry weight. Some of my builds do that where I'm min-maxing so hard that I can't really justify having, like, you know, carry weight perks and quality of life perks because I'm min-maxing all the damage I can under strength, so I end up just throwing extra points in strength for added carry weight. You can do that! That's a thing. As you've seen here. So, but I do like having my charisma cards. And I'm gonna get back on my normal armor set here because obviously it's kind of dumb running around without a chest piece. I don't have a matching chest piece, and this armor set doesn't have limit breaking at all. It's for, I don't know what it's for actually at this point. I built it a long time ago for something. But on this armor set, also stuff like this, having 4 agility on your under armor. You can even get some under armors that have agility and endurance bonus stats for increased max AP. Actually, let's see what this looks like here. Oh, wrong one, wrong stat. Just make sure we keep strange in numbers. 850. Very close to that 900 now. And I don't think, no, I don't have the active, sorry, I don't have the plus 40 to max AP. I do need some points in charisma though, so let's let's dial this back a little bit maybe. You know what? I'll just drop Fast Fighter. Put those points back. This way I can have Strange in Numbers and Tormentor on the build. I don't really need Fast Fighter. It's not that important. We'll get Tenderizer back on the build. I don't know what this camp is. Actually, I think that was a camp I was working on. It's not done. This is the camp I need. This is my clinic camp. You activated your camp too early or too near. Oh, okay. Well, I'm just gonna keep spamming it until it works. Is it worth changing from ghoul to human for unyielding? No. You're a lot tankier as a ghoul. You do more damage than bloodied as a ghoul. We've shown this with speedrun live streams where we take a full team of ghouls with the same min-max build and we run the snake over and over to get the fastest kill we could, and with bloodied we can only get that down to 7 seconds, and with a full team of ghouls we can get it down to 5 seconds. That means we killed the snake in 5 seconds. You do more damage as a ghoul and you are tankier. You can also do stuff like you can still get your AP up high enough as a ghoul. It's not a big deal. You just need to have a specific loadout, like I mentioned here, dumping more points into agility than you technically need, stuff like that. You are locked out of Thirst Quencher, so it's really important to invest all that you can into max AP. But we'll do that. We'll do this antique speed bag. This will give us 40 max AP. And then we'll do another endurance buff, the endurance bike. That brought us to 870 max AP. So let's sit on the endurance bike. But yeah, I did do a build basically with this on a members only live stream. If you have the GLASSGANG membership, you can check it out and look for it in members only content live streams. You'll see it. It's fairly recent. And in that video, I show all the buffs that you need, everything that works together, that stacks together to reach 1000 max AP. I will be doing a build soon with it. I promise, gang. See, that didn't give us much because that bike only gives us 2 endurance, which isn't going to do much with Thirst Quencher. We only got 7 more max AP. But every bit counts, I guess, when we're going for that max AP. Then it's basically stuff like, you know, just making sure you have that poached angler active. Which one was it? Which... I should still have... Oh, here it is. This is the one. Astoundingly Awesome Tails 10, giving us plus 25 to max AP for 1 hour. I'm not going to use it, though, because I'm going to need it for my video, if that's the only one I have. And then running Agility Bobblehead as well. That'll get us back up there too. Actually, why not? Let's just use Agility Bobblehead. Let's use Astoundingly Awesome Tails. Now we're up to 922. And then we're going to take Comex. And now we're at 952. We're literally 50 points away, gang. So I'm not going to spoil it. We're not going to hit 1,000. I'm not going to tell you what the last thing is. I'm sorry, gang. You'll just have to like, subscribe, and turn on bell notifications, because I will be making an upload. But you pretty much have 90% of the build here. This is it. This is how you reach 1,000 max AP. We're going to need all the AP regen we can get to with this build, because you have 1,000, almost 1,000 action points to regen here. So it's fairly important to do that. Oh yeah, I'm also very thirsty. Let's do that. Let's fix that thirst. Purified water should do. That brought us to 955. What's the one I'm looking for? Is it rejuvenated? I feel like it's rejuvenated. $9.58. There's so many things you can do, right? That just keep adding to that. You could also just dump more points into agility for the rest of it. But yeah, I can't spoil it, gang. I have to keep some substance for the video. It has to be worth your time, you know? Let's see which silos are open, because I feel like dropping a nuke too. You guys are going to see how awesome this Gaplas build works. It loves the extra max AP. Hang on a sec. I forgot how to do this. You need to check with a holotape. Missile silo holotape right here. Is having a gun with +3 agility? You can do that, but the problem, and the reason why I don't do the +3 agility on my weapon, I try to avoid that because obviously you're just going to eat a ton of max AP. It defeats the purpose of having all that max AP, right? Whereas if you can keep less VATS cost on your gun and just have 1,000 AP, that's way better. But there we go. Silo Alpha, Silo Bravo, Silo Charlie, launch prep required. So Charlie is the one that is no longer available. Let's go to Silo Alpha. Why not? You guys are going to choose the boss, though. I don't feel like choosing. So let me know with the poll. I'm going to make a poll. I kind of feel like doing Sonic too. I call him Sonic, but you guys know what I mean, right? The hedgehog guy? The hedgehog boss? I forget his name. Ultrasight something? The Nuka World boss. I don't want anyone following me down in there. I see that you're on my team, CLD 4v1, but I don't need anyone in there with me. It's gonna just cause more problems. So don't follow me into Bravo, please, if you don't mind. Thank you. Everyone's doing robots nowadays. I think everyone's trying to get the Anchorage Ace. Honestly, that's a pretty solid one to do. We should do it. I have plenty of cards. I do need the Anchorage Ace on this character. I probably have it on my mule, but, you know. You know how it is. Could always get more. Look, I'm barely using AP and VATS. It barely moves a tickle. I absolutely love this build. You guys probably can't even notice it move. What's taking so long? Okay. Did it work? Oh. Okay, it worked. Oh, right. Hey, what the heck? Jeez, server is being slow tonight. So yeah, we're going into it. We lost some max AP and that's normal. That is because of Comex, like I mentioned. It's just a 3-minute buff. This is really something you're going to want to use sparingly inside of a boss fight. It doesn't give you much more. We went from 925 to 955. But it's just, you know, to hit that 1,000, to see that 1,000 in the Pip-Boy, it's really fun. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe if you're new, and turn on bell notifications. I live stream and upload weekly Fallout 76 content. Also, check out our Discord, linked in the description. It's free to join. We have members on every platform, and I always link my live streams when I go live. GG. What's the best mods for Gaplas? There's some really good ones. Holy cow, this game is super laggy tonight. Look at this. Nothing is loading. What is taking so long? There's lots of really good ones. Hapcan, I really can't tell you, mainly because it really depends on your playstyle. Like, if you're an aim down sight build, if you're not going to use VATS, then there are specific mods that increase your damage based on high AP cost from using perks on the build like Number Cruncher. So that's the best thing for you, is to use a build guide, is the best suggestion I can give you, because watch a build guide and the mods really depend on your playstyle. But for a VATS AP build like this, these are the best mods. Furious, Vital, VATS Optimized, Conductors with Standard Receiver, Standard Barrel, Swift Core Receptacle, Reflex Sight, Accelerated Nozzle. I'll explain here in a moment why I'm using Standard Receiver and Standard Barrel. A lot of people who don't know better will just slap Prime Receiver because they see bigger damage number. But Prime Receivers come at a cost, a 25 AP cost, meaning it's 25% more AP cost. The whole idea of keeping this thing in VATS is to have a low AP cost and while maintaining high damage. So having the accelerated nozzle increases that fire rate while maintaining low AP cost. Keeping that barrel standard keeps the AP cost low. The minute you put the rifled barrel, it brings up the AP cost. So those two standard mods, don't overlook them. They're there for a reason. If you're going to aim down sight, it's pretty much the opposite. Anything you want to do that increases AP cost will be beneficial to you, because then, like I mentioned, you can use Number Cruncher on the build to increase your AP cost and increase your damage, because it gives you 2% increased damage per AP cost, which is really nice to have. What's going on here? Did it just not work? Okay, it worked. It worked. He's here finally. Alright. I just didn't notice him. Oh, sorry, gang. I thought I took the card off. But yeah, check out a build guide, because it's gonna talk about that, and it really depends on your playstyle if you're gonna use it aim down sight or in VATS. Don't forget to smash like if you are enjoying the stream, if you learned something new about max AP. We talked about it quite a bit here. We're at almost 1,000 max AP. Like I said, I'm gatekeeping the final thing that brings you to 1,000 because why would I let it all out now when I'm going to be putting a build guide out with it, you know? You guys will have to check out the build guide for the final results, but it is really fun to use the Gap Plas on 1,000 max AP build. I'm kind of bummed out that there's not many enemies to fight. I don't know what's going on, but they're just afraid of my AP density. Apparently, they see that and they're like, we want no beef. Nothing is spawning. But yeah, I mean, you guys can probably notice it. My AP bar just isn't moving when I'm using my Cat Plas. It's weird that no Assaultrons have spawned yet, but honestly with how laggy this has been. And you can basically run around forever. Especially if you equip the perk card that reduces the action points that it costs to run around. It's so crazy. Which is honestly really good for a gas can build, because if you're gonna like run the gas cans for the drill at stage 2 in the raids, you need all the max AP you can get so that you can constantly just keep running. Because it does suck to run out of AP when you're running and you're trying to get away from the mole miners. But this build just does not have that problem. I can run for days. Look, it's barely moving. It is barely freaking moving. Is it infinite VATS? It sure in heck is, my guy. I did a human version of the build using a high health version, showing you how to get high max AP without unyielding. It's around 700 max AP, which is the minimum you want for a Gap Plas. A Gap Plas is technically AP negative, so in order to make it quote-unquote infinite VATS, the idea behind this build is to throw all the max AP that you can at it, and you really need a base minimum of 700 max AP with the Gap Plas to start having a good time. Obviously this build has over that, it's at 900, but looks like we're all done. That was freaking easy. Nothing spawned really, just like 2 enemies spawned. That was so weird. Probably because of the game just being laggy, I think. Alright, let's open up Nuka Crypt. NukaCrypt.com is where I get all my launch codes. We are at Bravo, so that's gonna be 9, 6, 3, 9, 1, 4, 4, 2. What did you guys pick? Scorch Beast Queen. Bet. She's one of my favorites, actually. Plus, I have a camp down there called my Death Star Camp. One of my favorite camps. So, yeah, let's do it. What is with the lag? Oh my god. It has absolutely been laggy all day. But worse on this platform somehow. I was on PlayStation playing earlier today on PlayStation. What the heck? Repair? Why can't I repair? My build is all messed up. Why can't I repair? Okay, it has to be lagging or something because I can't repair my camp and my camp's not repaired. That's sad. But yeah, it's a Star Wars themed build, a TIE fighter build. Unfortunately, can't freaking repair it because the game is being whatever. So I can't really show you guys a proper look at it. So anyways, see, the roof is there. I can't go up. I can't fly out of here because the roof is actually here. It's just not visibly there. It just works, gang. It just works. I just hacked the Fallout 76 servers. I think that's a federal crime, my dude. I wouldn't be like just blasting that on stream chats. I'm just trying to protect you, you know? I'm just trying to give you the info you need, my guy. But no, the game is just being laggy. Why? I know, right? King Shots, I know. Look at my poor base. It looks so bad. It's all destroyed. It's technically repaired, but it's destroyed. Yeah, that's sad, eh? We have another one over there. Ooh. It's time! So let's work on crippling these wings. Look at that AP density. Absolutely insane. For the Gatplaz to have this much AP density. Let's cripple both of her wings. Alright, she should stay grounded now. And now let's get those crit shots in on the head. Look at that. She's getting freaking melted. Oh. She broke my VATS. Yeah, I was in VATS the entire time. She got completely destroyed. Bullied, even. Dang, we're too OP for Scorchbeast Queen, gang. That was way too fast. I upload and stream weekly, more like I stream thrice daily. Yeah, I undersell it so that I can overdo it. That's the plan. That's what works, my guy. If you want to know how to beat the YouTube algorithm, you need to force yourself into a burnout and come out on top. When the burnout becomes your baseline. All right, cool. We got one more. We'll go do site alpha before I have to switch lobbies. We'll go launch from alpha. I stepped away for a minute and missed it. Yeah, we absolutely destroyed it. But did you guys see how long I was in VATS for? I only broke VATS because the queen moved in front of, or in between some objects, and it broke my VATS. I stayed in VATS for that entire magazine, 500 rounds. With almost 1,000 max AP. That's the sweet spot for the gap plaz. I still know my gap plaz. I'm the gap plaz queen, okay? That's me. Alright. Nobody had 1,000 max AP before me on YouTube for the gap plaz. So, you know, I will take my stripes and wear them proudly. It's a vulgar display of power, gang. That's what you just witnessed. Honestly, this is my favorite build of all time. I have so much fun. It puts such a big smile on my face to see the gap plaz like not use any AP. And it's not that it's not using AP. It's that I have so much of it that we can barely see it move. Because the gap plaz is AP negative, it means that no matter what you do, mathematically it's going to run through your AP. But how we can beat that is by having a ton of max AP. Then you can stay in VATS for your entire magazine. That's technically infinite VATS, because when you reload, like, who cares? It's not like you can shoot while you're reloading. And by the time you've reloaded, you'll regain all of that lost max AP. And then you just rinse and repeat. It's that simple. I recently said the pepper shaker build was my favorite build, and it still is. It's still really strong. It's the fastest way for me to kill the snake without power armor and without, like, spamming consumables like stim packs or coffee. But this build is so much fun. Fail! Oh no! That is a great album. Someone got it! Heck yes! That is a great album, my guy. Greatest of all time. Actually, all of their albums. Every single one of them just absolutely slaps your face off. Facts! Oh yeah, you're right. It's 2 minutes until Fasnacht. Maybe I should wait. Yeah, I think we'll wait, gang. I'll have to come back to this. Let's see if I can do this yet. Did it work? If I can get this done at least prior. Yeah. Yeah, okay. We'll leave it there. This way I don't have to do this when I come back. 2 minutes till Fasnacht. We might as well just head back to my Fasnacht base. This cat is a Pantera fan? Are you freaking kidding me? I can name every album. I can name every person in the band. I can name just about everything about the band. I'm a massive heavy metal girl. Heavy metal girly. Honestly, Pantera is like #1 for me. Nothing beats the Texan heavy metal. I don't know what it is, but the twanginess, I think, gets me. And the vocalist is just crazy. I like his voice. I also like his voice when he's not singing, when he's just talking. It's so deep and raspy and just like, I love it. My first word was Pantera or Metallica, according to Papa King. Metallica is definitely up there too. Very, very, very good band. All those old ones. Megadeth. Metallica. Slayer. Exodus. What's another good one? Sepultura. I don't know if I say that right, but it's kind of a weird name for a band, but yeah. Nothing beats 90s metal. It's just on top still. Like, they never came down from the top. I got Pantera fans for a fan base. This is so cool. This is exactly what I've always wanted. You know what I've always wanted to do? I've always wanted to post, like, just videos slamming snakes back to back with the gap plas to some Pantera riffs. It would just go so hard. Because for me, when I'm bossing and I'm just, you know, alone farming the snake, I'm usually listening to metal. It just adds so much to the dynamic. Thanks for the heads up, Queen's Den. We're gonna head over to Fasnacht right now. Dimebag's riffage and tone was immaculate. R.I.P. Dimebag. The legend. I don't think I've ever heard of Pantera. Chris, oh my god, listen to Cemetery Gates by Pantera. 5 minutes alone. I'm broken. This is about to turn into a Pantera, what do you call it? Documentary stream. Old Black Sabbath, Black Label Society. R.I.P. Ozzy. Put on vulgar display of power, right meow. Don't tempt me. I will absolutely demonetize this stream immediately just to listen to that album. Honestly, vulgar display and Far Beyond Driven. Far Beyond Driven goes so hard too. Don't forget to listen to Cowboys from Hell, Chris. That's like their most legendary song that put them on the map that they're known for. The guitar solos are insane. If anyone's watching that's in the Discord, spam. We have a music chat in our Discord, a music channel for anyone that likes to share music. Share your favorite metal music in there. I'll listen to it later. But yeah, I've done videos in the past where I was like, you know, doing a full build guide, but when it would come to me actually killing the snake, I was using copyright free music that was metal music. And those videos just went so hard. I just thought it was so cool. But some people found it corny. And it's whatever. There's just something about bossing with heavy metal music. It's just, it goes so well together. It goes hand in hand. It's kind of like Doom, right? Doom does the same thing where you just run through enemies and you know, there's just heavy riffage in the background the entire time. When my father passed, I went through the shed and found 4 totes of albums ranging from Ozzy, Rat, Metallica, Queen, Living in Color, Van Halen, Megadeth, and more. I keep them in my living room. Hold on to that, Poison Boss. That is sacred. That is a treasure. Well, that's pretty cool. I'm glad to find out that I have a lot of viewers that are Pantera fans. This GLASSGANG build is on a whole new level. It's a new level, if you know what I mean. With that 900 max AP. A new level of GLASSGANG. And power. Oh no! Oh look, we're a Pantera channel now. Imagine I start uploading like Pantera documentary stuff and it just does better than my main content because you guys just love it. I'd be like, hey, we're a Pantera channel now. The groove. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was called groove metal or something like that, as far as the genre of metal that it was. Don't quote me, but I think you're right. When it comes to perks, would it be better to spread? Would it be better to spread or invest vertically on one strong legendary perk? It's better to invest in one strong legendary perk. Like I have both follow through and taking one for the team on this build, but as you guys can tell, I'm basically like never in stealth. So you don't really need follow through on this build. And most of my build guides, I really just drop follow through because it breaks a lot. It breaks a lot. It's really much better for aim down sight builds or full stealth builds. But a heavy gun's pretty hard to keep in stealth. But it does work. But honestly, taking one for the team is all you need. You just have to remember to jump on a team. Boston also, I'm an 80s guy, Miss Glass. Boston is really good. More Than a Feeling is up there in like nostalgia for me. Because my dad listens to it a lot too. That and Journey. Did I get a Fasnacht mask? I got a Raven. Oh my god, I've had the worst luck. Mouse for War. That's a good one. That's a good one. Is that the Great Southern Trendkill album? Oh no, it's War Nerve I was thinking about. Must be an earlier one then. Oh, it's on Vulgar? their second album. I'm gonna go to a new world so I can launch on Charlie. But yeah, I mean, just to finish up on the Pantera story a little bit. When I was a kid, I was basically just, you know, bouncing around hospitals to try to get my bone disease figured out. And I was in a pretty rough place emotionally. And Pantera really came through for me. I discovered them and it channeled my rage into music instead of like people around me. And, you know, because I was feeling all types of ways, like, why me? Why do I gotta get stuck with such a horrible condition? And, you know, it helped me kind of see that I needed to toughen up and, you know, realize that other people have it worse than me and have a smile on. And what it did for me was basically toughen me up. I got into that music so much. It was something I was listening to like every day. And then I found out that the band was no longer touring because the guitar player was dead. Like it had already happened long before I discovered them. I was really sad about that. I was really hoping to see them live. And actually, funny story, how I discovered them is I went to a music shop to try to buy a metal album that I just hadn't listened to yet. And I went there and asked basically the people that were working there, like, what's a good metal album? And I was gonna buy a Lamb of God CD. And I didn't have enough money for it. So I couldn't buy it. But then I was able to purchase the Cowboys from Hell album. So I bought that. And that's how I discovered them. Darren Mayness. Yeah, you could say that. What other games do you play? I play all kinds of games, actually. Recently, I got into the new Halo remaster and Skyrim. I had never played Skyrim before. We're in a new world, so I guess I'll go to Charlie? Shoot, let's see here. Let me pull up my Steam library, because honestly, I'm drawing blanks here, but I do play other games. I just have a lot more hours into Fallout than anything else. Battlefield 6. Oh yeah, I play Cyberpunk. I talk about Cyberpunk all the time. How did I forget that? Cyberpunk, Grand Theft Auto Online. Some racing games like Forza Horizon. The new Halo Pal World. I played Jedi Survivor quite a bit too. I recently bought Oblivion, but I just started playing it. Far Cry. Love the Far Cry games. Love a lot of the Need for Speed games. Racing games are fun too. Borderlands. I got Brahmin. Oh no! Oh, these guys are gonna give me a ton of rads. Yeah, they messed up my rads. GTA 6 is gonna be fun. I'll have to get a new Xbox to play it though. I know we're all in that same boat. We're worried that, like, I'm worried that my Series S isn't gonna handle GTA 6. I also just have the regular PlayStation Slim. I'm not sure how well it's gonna handle it. I'm wondering if I'll have to upgrade. It's kind of annoying to think about. But apparently the new Project Helix Xbox is coming out in 2027. Apparently. Don't quote me, but I did see an article about that. Looks like they're getting closer to dropping the deets on it. So maybe save your money. Maybe save your money for the new Xbox. Hopefully it's not $1,500 freaking dollars. Because I'm a cat. It's not like I can just get a normal job. I have to do things to get money. I have to sell a kidney to afford a console these days. You're not wrong. Here in Canada, a PS5 Pro is like $1,400 right now. It doesn't make any sense because you could literally just buy a pre-built PC that's pretty much better than that. It doesn't make any sense at all. I don't know how they're gonna sell them at that price. But I can't wait for GTA 6. I think the S is good. I still have Xbox One X, which isn't good enough. I'm going to try to get the 25th anniversary Xbox. Ooh, me too! Project Chris, me too! If there's no, like, solid news about Project Helix by the time GTA 6 comes out, I'm seriously considering getting that transparent green Series X because it's so beautiful. And I can see that one being a collector's item down the road and just worth the investment for that reason, you know. It's not like you won't be able to sell it and get most of your money back. It's a transparent green Xbox. I can't think of very many things cooler than that. Make sure you hit like and subscribe if you're a Pantera fan. I live stream and upload weekly Fallout 76 content, and we like to chill and have fun here and just kind of do the things that need doing. And sometimes I do, you know, raid streams. Sometimes I do bounty headhunt streams. I've been doing a lot more bounty headhunt streams, mainly because just kind of exhausted of the raid streams right now. I'm taking a little break, but mainly because it's all I did for like 2 years. All I did was raid streams. Every stream. Raid stream, raid stream, raid stream. It takes a toll on you. It's been nice to just do other things and get back into the chill grind. But it doesn't mean they won't happen. It definitely still happens. I'm just taking a wee little break from them. You know, I just needed a break. Oh no! I wasn't paying attention. There was a Assaultron that came up behind me. Plus, I think my rads were too high from those ghouls, so that didn't help. Let's fix my rads. There we go. There we go. If you want to know what the best AP buff is in the game, back when I started like really pushing the Gaplas as like a really solid option, I was doing this here. Oh, come on. Instead of coffee for AP, it gives you what, 12 AP for 25 seconds? 12 AP a second for 25 seconds. You can actually craft sunshine oil instead. It gives you 16 AP per second for 25 seconds. And it gives you plus 15 damage resist. So, and it's craftable, so it's a lot quicker to farm a ton of this stuff, and it works just like coffee. You can spam it. If you look, it says 400 AP in the item stats. On coffee, when we look at coffee, it says 300. So it's actually the better AP buff, and it's craftable. I did do guides talking about that at one point, how to craft it and stuff like that. Give me 1 second, gang. I have to go to the bathroom here real quick. GG. I'm back, gang. Sorry for the wait. Yeah, so anyways, all of those extra buffs I did earlier have now basically fallen off. Stuff like the camp buffs would have fallen off, and you know, because I did die, and what else here fell off? I'm guessing Astoundingly Awesome Tales 7 most likely came off because I switched lobbies, but we still have Pemmican. We'll do Company Tea. Mylark Fillets. Yeah, so some buffs came off because I switched lobbies, but we're back up to 853 with just a few food buffs here. And let's see if I still have Poached Angler. Yes, we still have Poached Angler. So back up to 900, just like that. 900 max AP is where this build feels really good. So honestly, the best thing about it sitting at 900 is, like I mentioned earlier, you can then just do your regular buffs that increase weapon damage Stuff like big guns, bobblehead, overdrive instead of comics, stuff like that. So you can, you know, squeeze out the damage. It's good to have a nice balance, right? Like you can go overkill, you can hit 1,000 XP and stuff, but in order to do that, you really have to stack so many different buffs that it locks you out of these other crucial buffs that build a lot of damage. So it's good to have a healthy balance of it instead. And I find the Gap Plas becomes very usable in VATS without coffee, without a stim pack build, with around 700 max AP. Between 7 and 8 is the sweet spot. 9, you're golden. Absolutely golden. 1,000, I mean, you're the AP king or queen, okay? At 1,000. Should I drop this build this week? Are you launching a nuke? I sure am, Cody Lawson. My guy. Are you on PC? I'm on Xbox right now, actually. Rare time. This is where my 1,000 AP character lives. It's where I created the 1,000 AP build, was on Xbox. It first started with a 700 AP build. Yep, humble beginnings. With a 3-star build. Are you launching a nuke? Yep. How's your luck been with the glowing masks? Really bad. Really bad. I've only gotten 2. Yeah, join me. Add my gamer tag in the description. It's in the description below. You can join. I was gonna ask a poll, but I just forgot. I forgot what I was gonna ask you guys. Oh no. Silly me. I'll think of it. Oh yeah! Should I drop the build this week? It almost seems like a good time to do it, but I was gonna try to line it up with like my channel's birth date or something, or another milestone for the channel, like if we were to hit 25,000 subs, then, because when I did my 1,000, the first video where I show you guys how to make 1,000 AP on a Gap Plas build, mind you, I only had 3-star gear back then, and we didn't have active mods back then. And the agility mods were +1 agility, not +2. So there was a lot more I had to do to get to that 1,000. You were pretty much forced back then to do the +3 agility on the weapon. I remember that being an issue. And so back then I actually ran it at 900 AP so that I could justify still doing stuff like overdrive and you know, running the less VATS cost perk on the Gap Plas instead of +3 agility. Come on. Oh, wait. I forgot. Gotta give it the key card. But yeah, when I first dropped my 1,000 AP build, it was for my 1,000 subscriber special when I hit 1,000 subscribers, and then I never updated that build. So it's a really old video and I sound completely different because back then I didn't have money for a proper mic. So I was actually recording all my voiceovers through the mic on my laptop, the built-in mic, the shitty built-in mic. So I sound like a totally different person in that video. I should probably take it down. 837-886. Oh shoot, I messed it up. What is it? 77837-886. Can you solo snake with this build? Absolutely, my guy. That's exactly what I'll be doing with it in the build guide. Stick around, smash like, hit subscribe if you're new, and turn on bell notifications. I live stream and upload weekly Fallout 76 content, and like one viewer mentioned earlier, it's more like 3 times a day. But I like to undersell and over-deliver. Wait, did I just not? I didn't launch, okay. What should I do? What? Oh yeah, neurological. I wanted to do neurological. Oh shoot, I forgot. I thought I was in the map. All right, we'll just launch it here, because it doesn't matter where we throw it in Skyline Valley. And then I can show you guys my silo camp that I talked about earlier. I love this camp. It's so immersive. It's when I was doing my whole enclave phase. Healthy balance is what I think about when scrapping to learn mods. I wish we had a healthy balance. But check it out. I made Silo Beta. This is not supposed to be up here though. I think I just threw this up here so I could get more max AP when I was doing the last time I was talking about how to bring up AP on your build. I talk about it a lot because it's something that is required for heavy guns to stay in VATS. So why not? Let's do it. Let's do some more max AP here. We'll take a little break from running around to grab a max AP buff. You know. And yeah, I basically tried to make it look like, I don't know why it's showing this white vault wall. It's not supposed to be this wall. This is really weird. Replace with I kind of don't know what wall kit I used. Oh, it's this one. Oh, but it wasn't that one. It had a window. Oh, it's this window. There we go. Because when they gave us Skyline Valley, they never gave us a actual, you know, silo like the other areas. So I just kind of tried to make it a silo. And there's a little vendor station here with 2 vendors. And it's enclave themed. You can see the flag in the background. Now wait, there's more. It gets better, okay? Trust me, it gets better. I've got a hidden vendor here inside of the machine. And then this is actually the way in, the back door. But wait, there's more. So if you come here, it's actually locked. It's locked, so you can't come in. It forces you to find the back door. Okay? But if you look inside, you can see it just looks like a standard silo entry. And then you find the back door. Okay, apparently all doors are locked. I don't know why. This one's not supposed to be locked. We'll unlock it. There we go. Secret door entrance. Oh, I'm blinded by the light. And yeah, this is it. This is the camp. Come on. You get the full effect. You come down in here. And you just kind of walk around. And silly little me decided to build this little enclave theme camp. You know? Very enclavey. I think anyways. It reminds me of being inside of a silo. And inside of White Springs, this bottom part is meant to resemble White Springs, or what it looks like inside of White Springs. let's head on over to neurological warfare. That vendor area looks cool, actually. What is the thing that the Modus terminals are in? So what I did for that is I used the phone booth door and I double walled. I put 2 walls up in the middle of 2 foundations and I double walled them. And then I put 2 doors in it so that they were flat, but 2 doors facing opposite directions, and then converted them both to the phone booth door and then deleted the walls. That's what that is. Maybe I can make a video on how to do it. Let me know in the chat if you'd like to see that. It wouldn't be a very long video. It's a pretty simple merge. It's how you can freestand doors without the wall, basically. You just want to... I think you still have to open the door. Maybe not, though, since the new changes and workarounds and changes that they did to... you know, the new building system. But you used to have to open the door to be able to remove the wall. But you might not have to do that anymore. But yeah, so that's the phone booth door that I double walled and placed 2 back to back to have that kind of glass dome effect. What's the value of the new red hot glowing mask? It's brand new and it's only dropping for a few days. So I don't know. Probably high though. You'd have to ask a trading community. Should I drop the 1000 max AP build this week? 80% said yes. 20% said no. Only 20 votes. I do kind of want to keep it for like a milestone, a channel milestone, but if I keep showing how to build most of it on stream, someone else is going to end up uploading it and taking credit for it, you know. I did already do it a long time ago, though. I should probably do it this week, though. I've been talking about it a lot, so it is time. It's also my favorite build, honestly. Every time I use it, I have so much fun. It puts a massive smile on my face. Oh, I don't think I was hitting. Yeah, because he's behind the shield. Oh no! I forget I'm nowhere near as tanky on this unyielding build. So yeah, I'm nowhere near as tanky. I've been spoiled to my ghoul character. Was that all of them? I didn't get the drop. I didn't get Anchorage Ace. That's too bad. I was only at 800 max EP2. Only. But it felt good. I really only broke VATS once to regen AP. And it's gonna happen no matter how much max AP you throw at the GAPPLAS, because it is mathematically AP negative, so it just won't not run through your VATS. But the more max AP you have, the longer you can stay in VATS, the more crit shots you can land, the more damage you can do over time, the lower the TTK, the higher the DPS. I'm gonna go check out our camp. Someone's camp. Miss Panther, GT, xXMsGLASSXx member in the chat. I need something to look forward to since Fasnacht has been a huge letdown. Are you talking about the GAPPLAS build? Or are you just talking in general? I'm just asking because there was a poll that I just recently closed. Are you GAPPLAS girly, Miss Panther? If you are, then you know it's written in stone. I'll upload the build this weekend. Oh wait, it's the last day of the weekend. Okay, I'll upload it this week. Yes, ma'am. Girl, I'm so sorry for the lack of GAPPLAS content. I'm just so afraid of them nerfing it again. When they nerfed my baby, I can't tell you what that did to me. Because they nerfed it so hard. It fell so low to where it's been. But alright. More GAPPLAS content. Downloading. Stand by. Alternate between that and Pepper Shaker. When GAPPLAS was on top, I didn't even look at the Pepper Shaker. I didn't even pay any attention to it. I was like, no. So I get you. GAPPLAS was so much fun. And it still is. Like, I have a blast with this build anytime I put it together. But the problem with the GAPPLAS is I only have fun with it if I'm on this build. Because if I'm on like a 500 or 600 AP build, it's just not enough. I'm always breaking VATS to regen AP, and it just doesn't feel satisfying. I'm forced to use coffee. But at like 900 is perfect. It is the golden, you know, area. The sweet spot, really, I said earlier, it's like between 700 and 800, and I stand behind that. It is. It's like the minimum, really. So maybe 900 should be the sweet spot. It's like perfect. 1,000 is a little too overkill. Glass Gaming sounds like the voice actor from Fallout 3, Moira. That is so cool. I'll have to check that out. Charles Dickens. I'll definitely look into that. Plus, the GAPPLAS getting this fancy new skin, you genuinely, like, can't blame the appeal for the GAPPLAS right now. It is looking real good. You can take that to the bank. Nothing looks better. It is on top in the looks department. Get some cinematic shots for you guys. Feast your eyes! Blinded by the Pip-Boy light. I've been using elders and a lot of coffee. Really? You don't need to use coffee with the elders mark if you set it up right. Sorry, I'm not trying to sound like a know-it-all. I'm just trying to help you. What you most likely did is you probably made the common mistake of putting Prime Receiver on. Prime Receiver puts the elders mark in a state of negative AP. So it is not great. I totally get wanting to see the highest damage number on the weapon, but there is a sweet spot for the Elder's Mark where it does seriously high DPS. I'm talking like sub-minute solo on the snake without power armor. So I have an Infinite VATS 700 max AP Carnivore Commando build using the Elder's Mark. I'll link that in the build in the chat here for you. Shabang. And Miss Panther, if you're still watching, do you play Bloodied or High Health? Like, would you care if this build came out as a Bloodied? Because it's definitely a lot easier to achieve Bloodied with that unyielding. That is the build you'll want to check out. That first one is a high health version. That's Carnivore with 700 max AP. And I can also link you another video called No Coffee, No Chems, No Problem, Lazy Infinite VATS Commando using the Elder's Mark. It's the same build, but it's herbivore. Doesn't use any chems or coffee to stay in VATS, and it's high health human. Kabang! Bloodied. I use Ghouls as Gamer of the Century. Okay, Bloodied it is then, Miss Panther. Bloodied's more fun. I totally get the appeal. I really do. Plus, you can easily hit that 300k max AP if you're farming the snake with this build and still have that super high max AP. It's kind of a no-brainer. What did I want to do? I wanted to do something here. I kind of forgot. Do I still have bounty wanted posters? I don't think I do. No. No, I don't. Alright, well let's maybe look at the Gap Plaza a little bit. We appreciate you. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys, actually, if you wanted to know for real. You guys mean a lot to me. A lot. A lot. I think about you guys all the time. In fact, Miss Panther, I think about you probably one of the most. And I'm not just saying that. Whenever I don't hear from you, I start worrying about you. So. Let's have a look at this Gap Plaza, though. Inspect, repair, inspect. Yeah, Furious with Vital. It's so good with Vital. The reason why it's so good with Vital, okay, the Gap Plaza absolutely will outperform DPS wise, but we're talking about balance here. We're talking about having a healthy balance of damage and AP cost and just the ability to stay in VATs. And the Gap Plaza is just notoriously bad at staying in VATs right now. Ever since they gave it the higher AP cost, it's no longer a really good candidate for a VATs build. You know, if you have under 700 AP, you pretty much have to use coffee if you're going to do any meaningful bossing. So the whole point of this setup having vital is we still have 50% crit damage, and the lower fire rate from not running rapid. It will do more DPS with rapid, but you will absolutely run through your AP even if you have 1000 max AP. It goes through so fast. It goes through it so fast because rapid puts the fire rate so high on this weapon with the accelerated nozzle already being on there that it just can't get any meaningful time in VATs even with all that max AP. So it's all about, you know, that idea of balancing out AP cost and damage. You'll notice I have standard receiver, standard barrel, those lower AP costs. Let's have a look at what the mods do. So like if I was to put calibrated capacitor, we get 50% more critical attack damage, and you will see the results of that. This is a really good mod we used to run back when the Gap Plaza had an AP cost of 6. But right now that mod puts us at an AP cost of 12. It adds 3 to our AP cost. And it just makes this thing a pain in the butt to use in VATs. Gamma wave emitter is basically pointless. It's only good for that one event where you have to set the overgrown on fire. Prime receiver, the problem with this is it adds +2 to AP cost as well, increasing your AP cost. Standard receiver is all about that low AP cost. Standard barrel, same thing. If we go rifled barrel, we go up to 12 AP. How we used to set this Gap Plaza up is we used to do rifled barrel. We used to do calibrated capacitor. And it used to sit at 6 AP cost. And now look, with these mods it has 15. That's way too high. You know what? Why don't we just try it? Why don't we just see what it looks like instead of me just saying it's too high? I do have 800 max AP, so if anyone's gonna try it, it should be me. But we'll most likely have to use stuff like sunshine oil for any of the bossing. But alternatively, if you don't want, or if you don't mind running coffee and spamming coffee, if you didn't know how coffee works, I can show you how coffee works. But you can basically spam it if you're good at hoarding it. Let's go try to find a Scorch Beast. And you can sit there and spam it. There's probably some Death Claws too we can go have a look at. Because I'm all nuked out. I can't fire off a nuke right now. I mean, it works, but we were definitely chewing through that 800 AP. It kind of looked like I had 300, you know? It definitely makes that AP drop a lot more. I think you guys can tell already. So it forces you back into those areas where you need more, you know, AP buffs. Like coffee. So how coffee does work though, let's go find something a little bit tankier. Can't fast travel while taking damage. I'm not even taking damage. Oh, she got that YouTube money. What are you talking about? Did someone donate a super chat? No, I don't see anything. Where did that come from? Why can't I fast travel, Todd? God Howard. The Elder's Mark is... Yeah, it is better than the Gap Plaz. It's more sustainable. The Gap Plaz is better though in the ammo department. It's a lot easier to keep track of cores. But if you're really wondering, like, as in terms of like speed running the Snake Boss, the Elder's Mark is just slightly better than this. Howdy do you know Adams? I mean, it's working. It's working. I'm actually surprised at how well it's doing. I thought we were going to run through the AP a lot more than that. But we're definitely flying through AP. And I died. I have a version of this build that's tankier too. That uses the same build, but instead of the agility mods for active in the 3rd star slot, I'm using Sentinels, and then I'm using 4 pieces of limit breaking and 1 tankies, and it's really good. It's a lot tankier than this version. This version is centered around max AP, so there really isn't much to it in terms of survivability. You are basically, you know, dodging death by just RNG. It's gonna come down to serendipity, saving your butt most of the time, and evasive working together to evade attacks. You're basically just surviving on avoiding attacks. And Born Survivor does help a little bit, but it does have a 20-second cooldown, so it's not like super OP at keeping your butt alive in a boss fight or something. Plus, I should just be running supers. I had a bunch of standard stimmies on me. Whoa! Okay, why don't I just have 0 HP? I have 0 HP, guys! Look at my health. Oh, I have 1 HP in the Pip-Boy. That's really interesting. It shows 0. Five minutes to Brass Snatch. Let's go. Do you have a build to get AP low for the V63 laser carbine? The problem with that weapon is it doesn't go very low. It doesn't go nearly low enough. And so what you want to do is you can actually squeeze out a ton of damage leaning into that. Leaning into the fact that it has just really high max AP. If you lean into it and you equip this card, Number Cruncher, your weapons have 2% increased damage per AP cost. And you can get that weapon to like 33 or 36 AP cost. You pull out a lot of damage from this card. Like, if you have an AP cost of 36, this card's giving you 72% more damage. I want to see how that performs in VATS with 5 pieces of scanners. It's just not enough. I've tried that build. It's nowhere near as good as having limit breaking, mainly because of how limit breaking works with conductors. Scanners isn't returning any AP, and not only is it, well, it is returning AP. That's the whole point of scanners. Like, reducing your AP is kind of your return by reducing the cost of weapons AP cost. However, the problem that it creates is it messes with your luck to crit ratio for critting every other shot, and then you're forced into having no limit breaking to go all scanners, and then you need too much luck, it's not possible to crit every other shot. So then you're going to drastically reduce your DPS by not being able to crit every other shot. So scanners isn't the way to go with this build, unfortunately, because you're going to just dramatically, it'll look like it's costing you less max AP, but it's at the cost of doing half the damage. You're going to be nerfing yourself hard, is what I'm saying. You're just much better off with limit breaking on a build like this. Plus, with that limit breaking, you can crit sooner, and you're getting AP returned through crits because of conductors on the weapon. If we look, we have conductors. Conductors grants critical hits, restore 10 health and action points instantly, and 100 more over 5 seconds. That's happening every time you crit. You get that 10 HP and 10 AP instantly. So the sooner you can crit, you know, and keep that limit breaking or keep that luck and luck to crit threshold correct, you can crit every other shot. You can keep that AP return coming in, and it's going to do more for you than having scanners. 5 pieces of scanners. That's why I haven't uploaded that build. I used to do a scanners build. I had a scanners build on the channel, but when they changed the entire system and the luck to crit ratio, it forces us to basically have some form of limit breaking, or you have to run lucky, the lucky mod for the 3-star mod on the weapon, and then you're forced into consumables, using consumables. It's just a problem. It becomes a problem rather than an efficient build. So that's why I haven't done another scanners build. If anyone's wondering, if anyone watched my guides back when the raids first dropped, and I was doing a build guide with the gap plaza around every 4-star mod back then. And that's why the drastic overhaul to the VAT system was drastic. It was very drastic. And now if you don't have the right luck to crit ratio, I mean, look at how much luck you need. If you don't have a single piece of limit breaking to crit every other shot, you need GG. That's because it's going to be basically impossible. You need too much luck. 1 piece of limit breaking with crit savvy and 4-leaf clover, you need 83 luck. You're going to need to do a lot of luck buffs and have luck pieces on all of your armor, which will also drastically reduce your max AP. Like, everything works against it when you try putting an AP or a VATS build together without limit breaking. Because then you won't be able to do your AP buffs. You won't be able to have the agility mods on the armor to try and regain all that lost luck to crit every other shot. And if you can't do that, if you can't reach that luck to crit ratio, the build completely falls apart. You nerf yourself by 50% or more. So with limit breaking, in short, I can just keep critting every other shot, which does 2 things for me. It grants me the highest DPS that I can do in a short amount of time, and it keeps AP coming in on crit, 10 AP every other shot. It keeps my AP bar replenishing as I'm using it. And if you're not critting every other shot, it messes up that AP return too. So you spend less time in VATS. I wish scanners just was better. But honestly, it comes down to the luck system. You need a lot more. You need a lot more luck now. Back in the day when you only needed 33 luck to crit every other shot, you could basically throw any 4-star mod and you could easily hit 33 luck and crit every other shot. Those days are gone. Did the parade start? Five minutes to another disappointment. You said that right, Miss Panther. You said that right. Let me know if you're getting lucky with the masks. I have not. I've literally only gotten like 2. Actually, we're going to do a slightly different mask pull this time around. How many glowies have you gotten so far? We're going to go 0 to 2. 3 to 5. And 5 to 10. I don't think anyone's getting 10 glowies in a single season, but I mean, anything's possible. People are getting 5 to 10? Are you kidding me? You guys are just trolling. Like for all Fasnacht, this whole Fasnacht event so far. Zero, Miss Panther. Oh no. Oh no! I'm gonna have to send you all my luck. I'm gonna pack it up tonight and ship it overnight flight from Japan. Get it to you pronto. Oh no, I'm jetpacking at the same time because Fasnacht has to be Fasnacht. How did that not kill me? I just realized I have 0 health. And I just fell from the sky. A Fasnacht corn cob is what I got. Oh my god. These drop rates suck. Let's drop the corn cobs. There we go. Adios. Take it or leave it. The only glowies I have is from the alien event when it was dropping like crazy. That was so fun. I had so much fun. Oh, we all did, didn't we? They need to give us that more. I don't know why they don't do more stuff like that. It's so much fun. It gets players excited and engaged like crazy. My friends list always lights up whenever they do stuff like that, which is super duper rare. I mean, they've only done that one time. But other games like GTA will do stuff like that where they have like double money weeks or triple money on certain things that you can do. And like, just throw us a bone, Bethesda. Oh my god, what's with all the greed? It's crazy. But yeah. Clean Pitman is the same drop rate as the glowing ones. I got 2 Clean Pitman. That's pretty cool. The Clean Pitman is awesome. I like that one. It's the only one they've ever done with a clean, official clean tag or name. Yeah, it's gonna be it for tonight, gang. I'm getting pretty tired. I'm basically falling asleep. I'm yawning a lot. I don't want to be yawning in your ear, you know, all night. So I apologize for the yawns. Kinda can't help it. But I'm Miss Glass. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you in the next one. Todd loves the FOMO mentality. Yo, fear of missing out is a real thing. It's something I struggle with. Alright, gang. I'll catch you in the next one. GG! Let's see what you guys picked, though. End poll. What are the results of this poll? How many glowies have you gotten so far? 0 to 2 is 50%. Dang. 20 votes. 5 to 10, 40%. 3 to 5, 10%. I'm really surprised that the second most picked option is 5 to 10. Dang. You guys are playing a lot. You have to be. Have a great night, gang. Thank you so much for watching. Smash like if you had fun. Hit subscribe if you're new.